Cairo ground, Etihad 764 ready for push and start.
Etihad 764, Cairo ground, pushback approved. Face
Pushback approved, face south for Etihad 764. Cairo ground, Etihad 764 requesting taxi to runway.
Etihad 764 runway 05 center taxi فيسير Tango
05 center taxi via Sierra and then Tango for Etihad 764.
Etihad 764 contact Cairo Tower 118.1
Tower 118.1 for Etihad 764. Cairo Tower, Etihad 764, holding at 05 center, ready to go.
Etihad station 64, Cairo Tower. Wind to station 585, fly heading 040, runway 05 center, cleared for takeoff.
Fly heading 040, runway 05 center, cleared for takeoff, Etihad 764.
Etihad station 64, contact Cairo departure 119.05.
Order departure 119.05 for Etihad 764. Departure, this is Etihad 764, climbing 3504.
Etihad station 64, Cairo departure, identified, claim to flight level 180. Etihad station 64, turn right, heading 140.
Turn right, heading 140 for Etihad 764.
IT هود سايفن 64 clear direct 9 رسو ما قلنا في كاش.
Clear direct mainly using navigation for Takeoff 764.
IT هود سايفن 64 contact Cairo control 119.35.
Center on 119.35, Etihad 764. Cairo Control, Etihad 764, passing flight level 158 for flight level 180 direct Manly.
IT Hawk 764, Cairo Control, radar contact, claim to flight level 370.
Climb to flight level 370, Etihad 764.
290.
Turn left, heading to 290, ready Egypt 322.
Egypt 322, descend to 6,000 feet, QNH 1021.
Descend to 6,000 feet, QNH 1021, ready Egypt 322.
Says I wish they would make the on-pilot easier for me like myself. I have a lot of videos on the FENIX A320 if you want to check them out. I go over all the details of on-pilot, start to finish.
Egypt 322, contact Cairo approach 119.05.
Contact Cairo approach 119.05, ready Egypt 322.
The channel I would recommend for FENIX A320 or any Airbuses in general is EasyJet Simpile. There's another one which is A320 Simpile, and also A330 Driver. All of them do really detailed videos on the Airbuses and in fact all the airplanes. So that's for you guys.
Cairo Control, Egypt Air 740. Good evening, flight level 100.
Egypt Air 740, Cairo Control, identified.
Contact Amman Center 128.5 and Etihad 764. Bye-bye. Amman Center, Etihad 764. Good evening. Flight level 370.
Etihad 564, Amman Center, identified.
Jeddah Center 134.8. Etihad 764. Jeddah Center, Etihad 764. Flight level 370.
Etihad Station 64. Jeddah Center identified. Saudia 1523, turn left, heading 255, vector 3 approach. Expect further clearance in about 15 miles. Turn left, heading to 255, Saudi 1523. Saudia 1523, contact Jeddah Center 134.8, have a good morning. Contact Jeddah Center 134.8, Saudi 1523. 764, contact Jeddah Center 128.1. Have a good morning.
Contact Jeddah Center 128.1. Etihad 764. Have a good morning. Jeddah Center, Etihad 764. Flight level 370.
Etihad Station 64, Jeddah Center, radar contact. Jeddah Center, Egypt Airlines 3 at Code Morning, flight level 300. Egypt Airlines 3 at Jeddah Center, radar contact.
Jeddah Center, flying is 131, flight level 300.
Plane is 131, Jeddah Center, radar contact. Jeddah Center, Jazir 241, code morning, flight level 27 at. Jazir 241, Jeddah Center, radar contact. Jeddah Center, Cairo 1195, flight level 213. Category 1195, Jeddah Center, code morning, radar contact. Continue plane to flight level 290. Continue climb to flight level 290. Plane is 131. JD Centaur. Expect radar vectors. أورانا في runway 36.
Expect radar vectors. أوراني في runway 36. Plane is 131.
Center on 126.7, Etihad 764. Doha Center, Etihad 764, flight level 370.
Etihad Station 64, Doha Center, radar contact. Plane is 067, good day, flight level 240. Plane is 06 safe, Doha Center identified. Plane is 06 safe, Doha Center, expect SN1 Foxtrot, runway 33 left. Expect SN1 Foxtrot. Runway 33 left, FENIX 067. FENIX 067. Contact JD Center 125.T5, have a good day. Contact JD Center 125.35, FENIX 067. Jordanin 623 Mike, flight level 320. Jordanin 623 Mike, Doha Center, identified. Saudi 1481, Doha Center, expect radar sectors, ILS runway 34. Expect radar sectors, ILS runway 34, Saudi 1481. Doha Center, TW4 Charlie Echo, flight level 370. Sky Dubai 4 Charlie Echo, Doha Center, identified.
Contact Doha radar 126.7, Etihad 764.
Doha Center, Etihad 764, ready to descend.
Etihad 764, fuel type 3 Charlie, runway 30 left, descend to 2000 feet, QNH 1014.
Butte 3 Charlie, runway 30 left, expecting, and then descend to 12,000, QNH 1014 for Etihad 764. Getting some really good performance here, about 60 FPS base, so 120 in total. I do have G-Sync enabled. I've seen that it's a lot smoother when I have G-Sync enabled, because the monitor adjusts itself with the adjusts the refresh rate with the actual frame rates that I'm getting right now. So that's really neat. I used to get a lot of stutters with G-Sync or FreeSync, whatever my monitor has, when I used to enable that with MSFS 2020. I used to get a lot of stutters, but I feel like now it's much better. Okay, so we have programmed 30 left already. I'm running full traffic on BeyondATC, by the way, so expecting some really nice traffic into Dubai, maybe. But yeah, just verified that everything has been fed in correctly here. Descent data, I think that is also good. Yeah, 30 left. I'm just not sure if I have the right minimums, so I'm going to set that real quick. Okay, so the minimums for Cat 1 is 200. Initially I had planned for 12 right, but the BeyondATC changed the runway on me, so that's why we are doing 30 left right now, which is, I think we have a crosswind anyway, because if I look at, let me see, if I look at the runway on Navigraph, by the way, I have my Navigraph open on my iPad, that's why you don't see it here. out, so I just changed my star and arrival runway on Navigraph just to make sure that am I going through Aldot or am I going through, yep, Aldot. Okay, so everything is selected in Navigraph and that plan looks good. Nice. Yeah, like I said, we still have 5 knots of crosswind and 2 knots of tailwind, which is interesting because I would think that they would want me to land on 1-2 left or 1-2 right. Instead they're going to give me 3-0 left. So maybe that's the active runway right now, but that's interesting that even though we have 2 knots of headwind for 1-2, the active runway is not actually 1-2 but 3-0. Yes, we're back on the VNAV profile, so that's great. The clouds are looking amazing. Let's cycle some views here. Nice. By the way, whoever hasn't checked out, I did upload Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 settings video. So if you're interested in what settings I'm running right now, that video is the place to go. I'm going to do more and more of these chill streams where we just fly from A to B. It's a lot of fun at night when I've just set up a flight and I'm working on something else. So it's weird that my Navigraph shows a different route compared to what I'm seeing here. But then I do have the same arrivals planned, so that's interesting. What arrival am I using here? Route A3C, okay, that's why, maybe that's why. I selected B or E, sorry. Okay, yeah, now it looks good. Yep. Now my Navigraph plan matches with what I have here. Perfect. So verifying the frequencies shouldn't be wrong, but just in case. Let's see. Left, I need the charts for this thing. I'm very surprised by how good Navigraph is right now. And I've gone into this weird view on Navigraph which I'm not able to get out of. That's why you see me fumbling. I'm in this weird side view which I don't want to be in. I guess anyway I can still open the chart as is. So the frequency is 111.3. So that's 111.3 and then 299. 3-degree glide slope. Looks good. Everything looks good. QNH is 1014. Our transition altitude is 13,000. Let's give it a little bit of speed break here because we are getting a little high on our profile and I don't want to be late in descending here. Okay, and the missed approach procedure is climb direct to DB 707, then track to 84. That is planned in, I think, as well. Ideally it should be. Yeah, it'll will come active, I think, if we engage missed approach, but anyway, let's still review it. Climb direct to DB 707, then on track 284 to Agnot, and then hold at 3000. I think if we look at our flight plan, we might find that. Yep, 707, and then Agnot at 3000. So we are going to feed in 3000 as our altitude once we capture the glide slope. And currently we are cleared to descend only up to 12,000, so below transition. I'm going to enable whatever this is, LS. I forget the full form of LS. I think it's something to do with localizer or something, but it basically brings up these white dots that you see on the PFD, which will track how far off you are from the localizer. So this will track how far off you are in lateral space, and this will track your glide slope. And we're capturing our glide slope at 2000 feet here, and runway altitude here is 60 feet, so pretty much sea level. Okay, I think we have reviewed the approach. Speed brakes are not needed anymore, so we'll take those out. Approach is reviewed, destination information is put in. We have our descent clearance to 12,000, and that's pretty much it. Let's turn on the seatbelt signs. Make sure that our passengers are aware that we are close. We had a really beautiful sunrise today from Egypt to Dubai. Really proud of this new PC that's sitting right in front of me. Yeah, if you haven't checked those videos out, I would highly recommend watching those videos. You will see the true power of 9950 X3D. It's amazing. I think I might fly one more leg today. Physical FN says, how do you apply custom views? I try to, but I'm struggling. How do you do it? So what you do is you can, you know what, let me link you to a video that's going to help you do that. It will be really easy for you to set up all the views once you watch that video. Just looking for it. Power stack. Where is my? Where is my camera setup? There you go. Camera setup. Get shareable link. And I'm gonna put it in chat. So physical FN. Please check out that video. I've covered how I set up all my cameras in that video. It's very easy to do. So this is how I have set up. This is my main flying camera, and then I have this kind of like a taxi camera. And then 3 is right wing, over the engine, left wing, and then again right wing, the flaps, left wing, and then again something from the end of the cabin, and then same thing on the other side. And then I have this main view, which is I just keep changing this one. Usually it's my chill view, where if I'm cruising I would just put it in this view so that everything is visible to me. If some ECAM error shows up or fault shows up, that is visible. My top of descent is visible. I usually keep very high range on this one and then less, kind of like 40 or 20 miles range on this one. So this view has some nice, if there's a sunrise or sunset going on, you'll be able to view that, but you'll also be able to have some control. Okay, so we are at 13,000. I'm gonna change our QNH to 1014, verified on both sides and on the backup PFD as well. Physical FN says okay, thanks. Yep, you're welcome. I think that video is clear and concise enough, but if you don't get something from that video, make sure you comment and let me know, and I'll respond. Okay, so we are cleared to 12,000 but not further, so I wonder what they're going to do with me, but I'm trusting BeyondATC at this point. I haven't heard any more descent clearance for me, but let's see, because I'm supposed to be less than 11,000 here, so I hope they clear me down. Maybe I should ask, I don't know. Yeah, let me just ask. Doha Center, Etihad 764, are we clear to descend further?
Etihad 764, stay altitude.
12,000 feet at Etihad 764. How does he not know my altitude? (12,000 feet at Etihad 764. Where did this come from?
Etihad 764, your planned altitude at the view type is 12,000 feet.
Really? Okay. I guess. Yeah, but then I already crossed Buteb, so I thought I'm supposed to descend further. Doha Center, this is Etihad 764 again. So are we cleared to descend further, or should we stay at 12,000 feet?
Etihad 764, maintain 12,000 feet until further instructions.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Well, let's see what they do with us. Because I thought this whole thing is a part of the star. Let me see. Tab 3C is what I'm doing, so that's this one. Yeah, this whole thing is a part of the star. So I'm not sure why they're keeping me at 12,000. We'll see. Let me turn off constraints so that I'm not confused here. Are we going to see Dubai from here? We're going to get some nice views here. Hopefully our LOD is high enough so that we can see the city. I'm running 250 LOD by the way. So really hoping that we see some good scenery load up here. Still really good performance, clocking around 120 FPS total, including frame gen. So base FPS is still consistent at 60. I think when it really drops is if you're trying to land at JFK with like full traffic, but I haven't tried landing at Dubai with full traffic from BeyondATC, so we'll see how it goes. This is my first flight into Dubai after upgrading the PC and also after getting BeyondATC. I was waiting to get BeyondATC until I upgrade, because there's no real point of running traffic until my CPU is good enough to handle it. Okay, so let's see. Look at that. The city did load in. So you can see Burj Khalifa there. I don't want to zoom in because I know it's gonna look terrible. Captain Flyboy is asking, do you have FG on or off? I have native FG off, but I have lossless scaling set to 2x right now. And that's another thing that I covered in that settings video that I uploaded today, is that if you're really getting a lot of stutter after and before landing, I would say try disabling your native frame gen and maybe try using lossless scaling at 2x. I haven't had any issues with lossless scaling. In fact, it's performing way better than the native frame gen within MSFS, because that sometimes glitches out and then you have a ton of stutters. Physical FN says, I have a good PC but I'm running MSFS 2020, and when I try to run 2024 the normal settings are good, but when I try to change anything my frame rate drops so bad. What are your settings and your PC specs? So my PC specs are all in the description, and my settings, I literally just uploaded a video today about all of my settings with this setup. So instead of repeating it and showing you again, let me link you to that. There's the settings video, and okay, I'm gonna focus a little bit on flying and then I'll get to the questions because we'll have a lot of time. So again, they have not descended us below 12,000 feet, so I don't get it. Not sure what's going on here, but I'm gonna follow at least until we hit the final, and then maybe we'll have to just hold and go in. Captain Flyboy says, does lossless scaling require hardware acceleration to be on as well? No, it does not. I have hardware acceleration turned off. I have virtualization turned off, which is called the SVM mode. So you can go into the BIOS and turn on SVM mode. That's something that hurts gaming performance, I've heard. And make sure you have XMP or Expo, whatever it is for you, in the BIOS enabled as well. Maybe I should do a different video just about BIOS settings. Yeah, lossless scaling is just $10, but it really adds a lot to your sim. I've not used default frame gen in a while, and I always try it after any sim update comes out, but I've seen that it just always gives me issues. As soon as I land, it will just randomly start stuttering and glitching out, and it's not even stutters, it's just pure glitches. I'm not sure how to explain it. It's really glitchy, and then as soon as I turn it off, everything is back normal, 60 FPS, no issues. So yeah. Physical FN says, are your settings compatible with i7 1417 700F? I think that's 32 GB RAM. Yeah, I think that's lower spec than my system, so I wouldn't say that you will be able to use my settings and get the same performance that I'm getting, but you can still review the guide and turn down the settings based on the tips that I give. Like for example, for TLOD, maybe you can probably only run 100 TLOD, right? So stick to 100. Maybe tone down your shadow settings a bit. I showed that it affects the FPS quite a bit, like 5 or 6 FPS. And then I've also shown in that video that the displacement mapping, that setting takes away like 8 to 10 FPS, so turn that off. So those are the main things that you should turn off to get some really good performance out of your system. And I'm not saying by no means your system is not low end, right? But obviously you won't be able to run settings that someone with 9950 X3D and a 4080 can run. So tone down your TLOD, I would say, to 100. Turn off displacement mapping. Keep your object LOD to 100 maybe, and then also keep your shadows to like maybe like first or second setting, like 758 and 256. Yeah, I think that should be it. And then buildings, you can still run buildings and trees to high, and grass, plants and rocks to medium. That should give you some decent performance. And again, physical FN, I would advise you to get lossless scaling as well. I think your system will perform way better with lossless. Are these guys messing with me? I'm not getting any descent instructions. Doha Center, are we allowed to descend yet? I forgot to say my call sign, but let's see if it gets it.
IT how the 764, maintain 12,000 feet until further instructions. Descent clearance is not yet decided.
Okay. I think I should literally be at 5,700 feet right now. I'm not sure what. Physical FN says, what about texture quality and pre-caching? Pre-caching, always set it to ultra, and texture quality, I think try medium or high. I would not recommend running ultra. Even I am not running ultra. So I would say try medium or high. If you can run high, then run high. But if you see a huge difference in FPS with medium, then I would say settle with medium. It probably won't affect your visuals that much. Also, resolution, right? I think for your system, if you want really smooth performance, I would say stick to 1080p. It's not worth going to 2K and losing performance over resolution, because 4060 on a 1080p will be a beast. Guys, what should I do? Should I just disobey this woman and keep descending? I don't know. Also, why am I on Doha Center here? Shouldn't it be like approach or something? I don't know. Doha Center, I am only this is Etihad 764. I am about 30 miles from Dubai, but I haven't got my descent clearance yet from 12,000. Are you going to give me a descent clearance?
Etihad Session 64, maintain 12,000 feet. Descent clearance is not verified at this time.
Oh my gosh. Like, what am I supposed to do here? Oh, you know what? Is this messed up because I ran simrate to 4x? I don't know. Physical FN says, are you using VATSIM? No, I'm not using VATSIM, I'm using BeyondATC. It's an AI ATC program. It also injects traffic into your sim, and it gives you ATC service. It's actually pretty good. Yeah, I'm not sure what to do here. I'm not sure. Maybe I should just switch to tower and let me see what frequencies we have here. BB. OMDB. Approach. I'm gonna have to hold here and then descend. Well, that's unfortunate. UAE radar Etihad 764 at 12,000 requesting descent for landing on 30 left at Dubai.
Air Baltic Station 91, descend to 11,000 feet, QNH 1015.
Let's hold at all dot, I guess. That's what we do.
Descend to 1,000 feet, Kunha 1015, Air Baltic 791.
Computer hold, and then we'll just hold at all dot. That's the
Air
best
Baltic
we can do.
Station 91, contact Dubai Rifles 124.9.
Contact Dubai Arrivals 124.9, Air Baltic 791.
Physical FN says, what are your thoughts on vaccine?
Etihad Station 64, UAE radar identified. Etihad Station 64, contact Dubai Rifles 124.9.
124.9 for Etihad 764. Dubai arrivals Etihad 764. We are roughly 1 mile from Al Dot, and we are planning to hold at Al Dot and descend further. And I'm just gonna have to tell them because I don't know.
Etihad Session 64 Dubai Rifles, QNH 10156 back the ILS runway 30 left with the L-dot transition.
QNH 1015, expect ILS 30 left with Al Dot transition. What altitude should we be at when we reach Al Dot?
Etihad Session 64, descend to 2,400 feet, QNH 1015.
Descend to 2,400, QNH 1015. We are holding at Al Dot right now. Just FYI. Etihad 764.
Negative, descend to 2,400 feet.
Descend to 2,400 feet for Etihad 764. Yeah, this is not a good example of how BeyondATC behaves. 'Cause
AT how the session 6 power, descend to 2000 feet.
descend to 2000 at the hard 764. It's not a good example here, because usually
AT how the
BeyondATC
session 6
does.
power, 4 miles from set bow, turn left, heading to 90, maintain 2000 feet until established. Cleared ILS runway 30 left.
Heading 290. Yeah, I'm just gonna do my thing because I need to descend quite a bit. Maintain 2000 until established, clear, dial S30 left for Etihad 764. I'm not gonna acknowledge the heading. It really,
Negative, turn left,
yeah.
heading to 290.
290, yeah. Turn left heading 290 for Etihad 764. This is a real mess up, guys. I don't know how to.
Dubai Rifles, stay Dubai 130 power, code flight lesson 181 with information whiskey.
The problem is I'm not low enough. So
AT how the session 6 power, contact Dubai Tower 119.55.
119.55 for Etihad 764. Yeah, I'm just gonna descend because one hold should be enough. If I exit hold now, that should put me on a good spot, I think. Exit hold. So now if I go direct to LDOT, direct insert, that'll put me on a nice turn to LDOT, and I'm also on my profile. Nice. And I should be at, what is it, 5001 or something? Physical FN says, what are your thoughts on VATSIM? Sorry, I didn't get to your message because I was being misdirected by BeyondATC. What are your thoughts on VATSIM? I'm trying to get into that right now. I'm just learning. I think one of the best advice I've received for VATSIM is just spawn in to some really busy airport when some event is going on, or just spawn into some busy airport and just monitor the frequencies. Start with monitoring clearance, then monitor ground, then monitor tower, and then monitor departure, approach, just to get a hang of the language, because pretty much on all the flights, unless something different happens, you're going to have to say the same things, right? So yeah, I would say be an observer on VATSIM before trying to fly a complex airliner. And if that is daunting, I would say get something like BeyondATC, because that's a really good tool to practice communication while also not being online and having the fear to mess up, right? So really good tool. Say Intentions is also a good tool. I haven't personally used it, but they've shown a lot of promise. And this FS weekend, they mentioned that they're planning a lot of upgrades. So yeah, either one of these tools to start with, and then for
Dubai
VATSIM,
Tower, stay Dubai 5 Juliet Delta,
you can
ILS
just
runway
be an
30
observer to
left.
start with.
Stay Dubai 5 Juliet Delta, Dubai Tower, wind 170 at 5, runway 30
engage
left, clear
localizer
to land.
already, and low brakes is fine because it's a long
Runway 30
runway.
left, clear to land. Stay Dubai 5 Juliet Delta.
Is someone right in front of me? Oh, maybe here.
Stay Dubai 5 Juliet Delta, exit right at Mike 11. Exit right at Mike 11, stay Dubai 5 Juliet Delta.
So that's my thoughts on Ryzen. If you have any other questions or anything, just leave it down below. Sorry that I didn't talk much during the stream. I was just trying to work on the side, and then when I got done I just 4x the flight.
Sky Dubai 5 Juliet Delta Monitor Grand 11.5 Bye bye.
Looks like we have glide slope and
Grand
localized remote
11.35
capture.
Sky Dubai 5 Juliet
So
Delta.
I'm gonna go flaps 1 here. Actually, should I? Let me see what the speed limit is here. 183 is what I should be at. Okay, yeah, let's go flaps 1. Flaps 1. Still performing really well. You guys cannot see, but I can see frames on the left side. So I'm getting roughly 100 FPS right now, which is great for Dubai with all this traffic. So not bad at all. Okay, I'm gonna get into position to land. I'll still respond to questions, but will be a little bit slow. Supposed to reach 183, so let's go one more notch of flaps so that there's some drag and we can slow down. It's flaps 2 now. The rest we will dump it as soon as we can get the gear down. Hopefully we get a good landing after such a long cruise from Egypt.
2,500.
I don't think ideally Etihad does routes to Dubai, but I was like, I don't have any good liveries to fly with, and this one is actually really good. Let's look at it from the outside. This one, I really like this livery. Oh, look at that traffic. I really like this livery. I don't like the fact that only some buildings are rendering there. That's fine. Okay, let's go gear down. Let's not forget that we are spoilers armed. Just finishing up the landing checklist here. And signs on. Call the cabin. Ready for landing. And we'll go landing lights on. Don't really have to, but why not? And wing lights can go off. Okay, just need to go flaps full now. So let's go flaps full. Dubai Tower, Etihad 764 on short final 30 left. Because we didn't get a landing clearance.
Etihad 764 Dubai Tower, wind 170 at 5, runway 30 left cleared to land.
Runway 30 left, cleared land, Etihad 764.
1,000.
Okay. So we got our landing clearance. And I'm gonna open up the taxi charts just so that okay, time to disable autopilot. Hoping for the best here. I'm not the best FENIX lander, but we'll see how it goes. We have like 5 knots of tailwind. What? That's not good.
500.
So we need to make sure that we don't over flare here. Or well, actually we'll slam down, so we need to make sure that we flare a little bit more than usual. Look at all that road traffic.
400.
Alright, focus now.
Think rate.
100.
Glide slow.
Dang it,
Minimum.
went too low.
What? wide slope.
Not the best landing, but I'll take it. Whatever. Don't need reversers, it's a long runway. I can exit here, although I'm 50 knots. So I am seeing some stutters right now.
IT هود 764 exit left at kilowatt.
But that's just because I'm spawned in with like 100% traffic here pretty much. Yeah, not the best landing, but it's okay. It was fun.
IT هود 764 exit left at kilowatt.
Dubai Tower, Etihad 764 clear off runway 30 left.
IT هود 764 contact ground 118.35 half A code.
.35. Have a good day. Etihad 764. Dubai ground Etihad 764 requesting taxi instructions to gate F20.
IT هود 764 welcome to Dubai Airport. Cat Foxtrot to 0 taxi 5 kilo Zulu 11 Zulu.
Gate F20 taxi via Kilo Zulu 11 Zulu for Etihad 764. Alright, let's keep going here. Gonna start my actually, you know what, I'm gonna wait for the follow me car. And also start the APU. Look at all that traffic. Look at all that traffic, guys. That's just amazing. Look at all that traffic. Real-time tech is asking how much FPS. I'm right now getting 85 to 90 FPS, but that is with frame gen. Thanks for the comment, OAD51. Let's watch a takeoff. What do you think? Look at that. By the way, this is Dubai enhanced by any builds. So it's a very detailed scenery. That looks amazing. Oh, how am I gonna pass that? Yeah, I think our follow me car is here, so let me. I am getting some stutters. Okay, now in the cockpit I'm getting 52 frames, 40 frames now, so kind of low. Real-time tech says my frame gen is making consistent crash to desktop and freezes, so I had to not use it and use auto FPS. Those are two different things, right? Auto FPS is controlling your LOD to make sure that you get the frames that you want, while frame gen. So I was telling this to other folks too, but have you tried using lossless scaling instead of using native frame gen? Because I've seen that helps quite a bit. How am I supposed to pass these guys? How am I supposed to pass these guys? Should I just pass from in between? Well, I don't know. I think that's what's gonna happen. Let's see if A320 can it pass from here? No, probably not. Definitely not. Ah, no, that's not happening. Are we stuck, guys? Are we stuck? What is this guy even doing? When is he gonna taxi out? Oh my gosh, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the line. I don't even know what this guy is doing. Well, anyway. Real-time text says yes, but I don't know the right settings for lossless scaling. I can show you. Because we are stuck anyway. So I'm using LSFG 3.0 fixed. 2 flow scale is whatever 100, and then I have scaling off, but you can turn that on if you want to gain some more FPS. I have rendering this thing set to off, but if you don't have a G-Sync monitor, make sure you turn it to V-Sync. And max frame latency to 1. G-Sync support, I should turn this on because my monitor has G-Sync. And then capture API is DXGI, Q target 1, and force it to your preferred GPU and force it to the display that you want to have frame gen on. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the lossless scaling settings here. Unscale, scale, and then put it back on my screen. So once you hit scale, you need to click on the screen where you want to apply lossless scaling. Okay, what do we do here? I think we are just stuck. So I'm gonna keep going just to finish this flight off, and I don't want to just quit in between. So we are going to assume that there were no airplanes damaged here, and we passed right through a 777 and A380. So right now I'm getting like 70, 80 FPS, somewhere around there. So not the best performance, to be honest, but then again you have to consider that this is a add-on scenery, add-on Dubai scenery, the enhanced version, which has a lot of bells and whistles going. So, but maybe if I would have taken off from here, I would have gotten a lot better performance than landing here, because remember, during landing we still have the VRAM leak issues going on with MSFS 2024. So with that leak issues and stuff, I think 80 FPS is pretty good. It's stuttering a little bit too, but like I said, right, it's add-on scenery, and with all this traffic, like look at how much traffic we have here. We've cranked up the traffic settings to like 10 in BeyondATC. So it's definitely taking a beating. Okay, so there's F20. Let's see if we can at least park well. We couldn't land well. Let's turn off this thing, turn on APU bleed, and then let's continue to our parking. Hopefully we'll be able to park well. Don't go slow. IAE engines, you don't even need to push the throttle. They're like I'm taxiing with 0 throttle right now, or well, idle throttle. Once I park, I want to see if I remove all the traffic, how much FPS do I get. Right now with all of this traffic loaded in, I'm getting 80. So maybe I'll get way more. We'll see. Make sure you wait around for that. Okay, where's my little guy who's gonna tell me how far I need to go here? Oh, this thing is gonna tell me. Okay. Good parking, I guess. Forgot to get the flaps up. You parked a bit skew. No. Like I braked exactly when it told me to brake. Let's see from the outside. Yeah. It's decent. Not bad. Okay, now while we deboard, what I want to do is show you around this airport. So I'm gonna turn off the engines because I already have APU on. All of that is good, and then arrive, commence deboarding. Yes. So while it's deboarding, let me attach the jetway. Also attach the ground power unit, and we can transfer the power to external. Alright, so while that is going on, real-time tech says I'm getting ready for my flight. Nice, dude. Have a good flight, man. Have a good flight. Where are you flying today? So while that's going on, I wanted to show you guys this airport, because this airport is very well done. It's amazing. It's AnyBuilds, by the way. This is AnyBuilds. Oh, that's not good. Yeah, this is AnyBuilds enhanced version of MSFS 2024. It's a very, very well done airport. The ground textures are top notch. Look at that. Beautiful. And then obviously the terminal is very well done, and you don't just have details there, but you also have detail around here, and all the hoardings and stuff. Everything is accurate. Look at that. This dude's standing here. Not sure what he's up to. But yeah, all of this is super accurate. Look at that. That's some sick amount of detail. Crazy. It's beautiful. Look at that takeoff from there. And then it doesn't just include the airport, but it also includes some famous buildings like Burj Khalifa and things like that in the city. I'm not going to go all the way there, but just know that it also includes all of that. So honestly, I would say it's worth it. But I'm stunned at how good this airport performs even with all this traffic. Oh, that's another thing. I wanted to see whether our performance improves without traffic. So I'm getting 100 FPS in this view right now, in this specific view right now. Now if I go to BeyondATC and close it, that will remove all the traffic. And then let me see how much performance I get. So now all that's left is the static airplanes. So basically my frames went up by 15. So if you think of it in terms of base frames, the base frame rates went up by 7 FPS. That is not bad at all. For this much traffic, 7 FPS penalty is insane. Like, that's really good. That's very good. Yeah, I'm definitely satisfied with how it performs. And then when we get sim update 2, it's gonna be even better, right? Look at that detail, guys. Look at that detail. Yeah, so I was saying with sim update 2, since we don't have well, we probably still have some VRAM issues, but at least 800 MB less VRAM usage, we'll probably see more performance out of it. Real-time text says Los Angeles to Denmark. Nice. That's gonna be a long one. And then he says, alright brother, I gotta leave, I will see you later. See you later, man. Thanks a lot for joining the stream and keeping it engaging. Yeah, good flight today. Not the best landing, but it was fun regardless. I was a little nervous landing on stream as well, so that threw me off a bit and I lost track of my glide slope, and then I just somehow made it on the runway. But yeah, I'm gonna do a lot more of these streams, so like and subscribe so that you keep getting notifications from my channel, and I will see you guys on